Hello, class. Welcome back. Class is in section. We're gonna do some back to school projects today. I can't wait. I've had these kind of setting aside, lined up. Couldn't wait to get to share them with you, and I hope these inspire you and give you some fun ideas to try. Whether you're a teacher or you want to do a teacher gift or you just like to decorate for back to school. Either way, I think these are just a couple fun projects that you could do. Excuse me. All right, so we're not going to take long. We're going to go ahead and get started because I have two projects that we're going to try to do, and we're even going to add a couple embellishments on one. So this is the transfer we're going to use today. Isn't it adorable? It's called Teacher's Influence, and I have seen it used so many different ways, but I just absolutely love it. I just think it's the cutest thing. And we are going to do it on two different surfaces. We're going to do with our chalk paste and with our ink. So this is the first surface that we're going to use. It is just a little mini chalkboard. It's 8.5 by 10.5. I got this at the Dollar General. So very economical. I've used these in the past for some other projects that I have around the house, and I just think they're really fun. And I was trying to go through what I had here for surfaces, and I thought, oh, well, of course I need a chalkboard. It's back to school, right, for teachers. So I don't know if your kids are going back to school or not. We're in North Carolina, as I've mentioned before, and where we live, pretty much I think as of today, all of the schools in North Carolina are back. A couple different counties started last week, a couple the week before, so yeah, so everybody's back today. So I have one that started last week that's in college, finishing up his senior year of college, and I have one that is in college in another part of the state. She's finishing up her last semester of senior year in college, and then I have one that's in high school, and he's actually going to do virtual learning so this year, but everybody's back. All right, so the other project surface that we're going to use, I thought would be super fun, is one of our little pennants. We sell these in my online shop, and we actually have a couple different sizes, 3 sizes now, I believe. This is a smaller one, so it will fit this 5x7 transfer perfectly, and we'll do that one in ink. So I'm going to set that one, let me think. I think I'm going to do the chalk one first. I'm going to set the ink project aside, and we'll work on that while the chalk is drying so that I can then get my heat gun, sorry, my, oh my goodness, my glue gun warmed up. So I don't really think it matters what's top or bottom. I mean, it looks like there's a front and back kind of. Obviously, you could do something on both sides of the surface. I think I'm going to use this side just because there's a few staples back there. But I'm going to make it like that, and I will put it towards you. Now, it's a brand new transfer, so I haven't used it before, and I'm putting it on the chalkboard surface. So I want to go ahead, and I've already marked it and have it ready to go. But I want to go ahead and fuzz it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words today. Not enough sleep last night. So I'm curious if you're popping on. Let me know you're here by hitting the heart button, and maybe tell me where you're viewing from. And if you like what you see today, I would love it if you would sprinkle this, which just means to SHARE with anyone you think would be interested in this project. So I'm just fuzzing this transfer right now, and that's exactly like it says. This is silkscreen transfer. They come on, this is our backer sheets that has a glossy side and a matte side. As you can see, the silkscreen area, that's where our paste, we use wet chalk. We call it paste, but wet chalk or ink to make these projects. And we're just going to use that silkscreen area, but the back of the transfer is very sticky, especially when it's brand new. So we want to put a little bit of fuzz on it just to make it not quite as sticky on this type of surface, depending on the surface you're using. Because we want it to come off, we want it to stick and stay still while we're working on it, but we would want it to come off without damaging the transfer and without peeling any of the paste off from behind it. And actually, that doesn't look straight at all. So you'll see it grabs a hold. And I can't tell. I think this is actually supposed to be two different types, two transfers. You could cut it. I don't know if you see that line there. That would be a good cut line. I'm not going to cut it, but it also looks like I'm not going to be able to chalk that area because I see something in the silk screen there. So I'm not sure if it was designed. I haven't paid that good of attention. If it was designed to, oh, maybe I will cut it. Hey guys, okay. Rewind, just had a thought. I know this is a little big or small for my surface. I have plenty of room. So I already know some embellishments I'm going to put on here, but I think I'm going to use this little composition thing here. I think I'm going to use it twice. So I am going to use my transfer trimmers, which are made especially for transfers. They have a coating on them to make it so that they don't stick. And I'm going to cut that, and I'll use it in two spots. I'll use it on the top and the bottom. That will make it more fun. And I've already thought about the colors for this today, but what color would you do it in? I thought, okay, what color on the chalkboard? Of course, white came to mind. And then I thought, well, but what about yellow? Wouldn't yellow be cool too? But then I just decided to stick with white. I'm gonna do it all in one color, even though it's kind of a Subway transfer, just like I've done recently, a couple of them, and I usually do them in a lot of different colors. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do this sometime in multiple colors, but today we're not. We're gonna do it all in white, and just this little section here, I'm going to do in, I got feedback from the people in my home, and they said purple. So hey, let's do purple. And I am actually gonna do shimmer purple because I can. Wouldn't this make a fun gift for back to school, teacher appreciation, or just as a welcome to your new teacher, your child's new teacher? Or if you are a teacher, wouldn't this be cute? You could do this on so many different surfaces. You could do it on an apron. Maybe you're an art teacher. You could do it in your apron. You could do it on a t-shirt. You could do it on a sweatshirt. Okay, I think that's straight. I don't know, I keep looking at it and it looks like just it's a hair off. I'm trying to go by the lines, and I think that's what's throwing me off. So you see how it adheres, but I can still take it back off and move it around. All right, there we go. I think that's gonna work. And I'm gonna set my backing sheet aside. After I've washed this and dried it, air dried it, I'm upside down with the sticky side up. I will put that back on the backer sheet. So let's get to it. So these are the two colors I'm using today. This is our chalk paste. This is white, bright white, and I'm gonna use Shimmer Plum because I do have a pretty purple. This is really pretty, but I believe with this black background, it wouldn't show up that great. So you could do this in any color you wanted. Like I said, I just thought I would stick with white. I'm gonna use one of my, always have something by him, a baby wipe to clean my hands with if I get any paste on it. The paste washes right off. Just a little bit of cold water, a little bit of a wet paper towel. You can get it right off. The ink, on the other hand, you have to be a little more careful with. Okay, so I am actually going to use the little bit bigger one since I'm doing the, I'm still going to use I'm going to use my mini squeegee for the white. And this is our paste. Looks like yogurt or frosting. Wait till you see this, guys. And I'm just pressing it down to make sure my silk screen area is adhering to my surface so that it doesn't bleed. I am going to move this just a little because I feel like this is the one that's throwing me off. not quite straight. The line isn't. There we go. Alrighty, let's go. And I'm just kind of smearing it. That's how I heard it talked about this weekend. Smearing it. I don't have to do anything to prepare the surface, this chalkboard surface. Just make sure it was clean. Obviously, it was already in that wrap, so just make sure you don't have any fuzz on it or otherwise. Can you see that okay, guys? Oh my gosh, what took me so long getting on again, as usual, is my camera on this stand. Just constantly wants to tilt when I don't want it to tilt, and then when I go to move it, it's still not right. I have duct tape all over it, trying to hold it straight. Nothing duct tape can't fix, right? And you can see how little of this paste that I have to use. The chalk paste really doesn't take a lot. And then I always go in the opposite direction to make sure that I've gotten all of the, just grab it a little more to make sure that I've gotten all the silkscreen area covered. And I'm just going to put my extra right back in so we can reuse it. That's the best part about it. And I'm just going to go one more time to make sure I pulled off any extra and try to make sure I don't have any lines that would show up in the paste. All right, I think that's it. Just gonna put that squeegee aside. I have another one I can use for the next part. So, a lid back on my paste to keep it moist. And you ready? This is called Squeal and Reveal. Let's see. Peel, squeal, and reveal. Peel, reveal, and squeal. Whatever order. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love it. I knew I was gonna love it the minute I saw that transfer. And I'm just gonna set that aside, and I'll probably put a little water on it, but as soon as I'm done with all of our projects, I'll have to wash it anyway, because to use it for the next one. Look, isn't it awesome? Look how crisp and clear that is. I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna do this part in purple, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray my transfer. And all I do for that when I'm doing lives and I can't get to the sink and wash it right away, because you just wanna wash it, is, I don't know if I've ever shown this before, so I have talked about the fact that I don't have a regular water bottle up here. I just have my distilled water, but I'm just gonna use this to show you guys. I'm just gonna spray it, okay? And then I'm just gonna take a paper towel to begin with, just because it's kind of messy. Never on the back side, only on the front, okay? And I'm just gonna kind of wipe off some of the extra when I'm doing it like this. In the sink, I would just let the water run on it, and I would use my hands and then a board eraser. But for this purpose, I'm doing it with a paper towel, and then just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna use one of my board erasers. That's what this is. It looks like a Mr. Clean eraser, but it does not have the chemicals Mr. Clean eraser has in it. But it works fantastic on our transfers. So I'm just gonna clean this a little bit to try to make sure my silk screen area is clear. That's the main part that I want to concern myself with, because even if the material ever, sometimes like when I go to use the black ink, it's going to probably stain. Sorry, distraction. My hands were messy. It's gonna stain, but that's fine. As long as my silk screen area is clear, that's all that matters, guys. All that matters. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just trying to make sure I'm getting it clean, nice and clean. Now, you would never use a baby wipe on your transfer. I am not using a baby wipe right now. This is an actual cleaning wipe. You cannot use a baby wipe, but you can use a cleaning wipe to help. And you don't want to use a paper towel on the back. If you do, to dry it, just do it really quickly and lightly because you don't want to get pieces of the paper. I just want to make sure this dries. And my silk screen area is clear, so when we go to do our ink project, I'm gonna let that sit up over here to dry while we're working on this next section. So it'll be ready when we go to do our ink project. Okay, so let's try our shimmer purple. I love it. This is one of our newest colors. Let's see if you can see. For fall, it's gonna come in handy. I'm gonna use it year round, but it's going to come in so handy for those Halloween and fall projects. It just adds some shimmer and beauty. Now this little section of the transfer that I am doing right now, it's like a pattern, right? I mean, to me, I see a composition notebook. I'm sure that's what you guys see too. But you can use this anywhere. You can use this as a background on any other project you're doing. I could even take this around the edge if I wanted to and make it all. Now see, I'm giving myself ideas, but I'm not gonna do that right now. That would take too long. I want time to do both of these projects to show you the two different looks. But you can use this as a background on anything you want. That's the cool thing about our transfers. You can use them so versatilely. Now I will tell you with the shimmer, it's a little thinner. I feel like it's a little thinner. It's not glitter, it's just shimmer. So I always make sure I have coverage. I'm just gonna set this aside for right now because we're gonna do that same thing on the bottom after I dry it. Okay, you ready? Peel, reveal, and squeal, guys. That's gonna be my new mantra. So you start at the corner and then try to get into the middle and pull it out just because you don't wanna stretch your transfer. Okay. I am glad I did the shimmer. I'll set that right here for a second. I'm glad I did the shimmer, guys, because I can even set it here. I just don't want to get the ink on there. Because I don't think the dark purple would have showed up by itself. But the shimmer just gives it a little bit. It's a little harder to see on camera. And I do see where I made a little bit of a boo-boo. I can use a baby wipe or clean and wipe on that on my surface, but not on my, I wouldn't use a baby wipe on the transfer. So we're gonna flip it around and I'm gonna put that little guy down here at the bottom too. Actually, I can't tell. It's probably dry, but let's just do this real quick. This is just a little air dryer to speed my process along. I just want to make sure my chalk, it usually dries within about 5 minutes. The chalk does on its own. And once it dries, it's not going to come off. I can touch it. I have to make it come off. I would have to use water and some elbow grease unless I sealed it. If I was giving this away as a gift, I might go ahead and spray it with some of that Krylon or some kind of sealer. I would want to spray it though. I wouldn't want to use like Mod Podge with a pink thing on this just because it might smear it. If I was giving it away, I would spray it. I don't know if I will or not. I might. I very well might. I do have several teachers in my life that I could give this to. Okay, that should be dry enough. It really doesn't take long, guys. And then, oh goodness, I can't get this to hang back on my little hook. There we go. So now it's not going to come off unless I take water and a scraper or some elbow grease, a paper towel, my board eraser, something to make it come off. I should be fine. Now see, this is going to be the tricky part. Trying to line it up And I am an eyeballer to try to line it up with the one up there to make sure I haven't moved it like left or right too much. So bear with me a minute. And you guys, you know what? Even if it was off just a little, uh-oh, got something under there. Little piece of something that I don't want there. Even if I did, if I hated it, I could wipe it off and do it again. If I really messed it up, I could wipe it off and do it again. If not, you know, it's art. We're going to be see, got the wipe on there, or the white from cleaning the transfer. All right, let's put some purple down here. You could even do your school colors in this little composition part. So I'm pushing it into the transfer and dragging it across. That's all I'm doing, guys. It doesn't take very much. Like I said, it takes just a little bit more of the shimmer, I feel, because it is thinner. The best part about these projects are they're done so quickly. Obviously you can embellish and do lots more to it and whatever you want to do to it. If I had some cute school ribbon, I might have to look for some. I haven't seen any, but I haven't purposefully looked for it. It'd be cute with some little school ribbon. Could do a little bow at the corner or to hang it up. All right, all finished with that. I'm gonna set that aside and I'll wash those squeegees in the sink with just some water, just like the transfers. All right, I'm gonna put this down now. And I would generally do that slowly to make sure if I missed anything, I could fill it back in before I took it all the way off. So I'm gonna put that over on my little mat and spray some water on it so that I can reuse it. And there we go, voila. Now, can you see the purple? Let's see. See the shimmer? And obviously this could go on an easel. You could use the Velcro, what's it called? Command strips to hang it. You could use your hot glue gun or staple gun and attach, like I said, if you had a cute little back to school ribbon, some kind of ribbon. Oh my gosh, I have to try to find something now. That would be cute to hang it from somewhere. Wouldn't that be adorable? And again, like I said, you could take this and go all the way around and put the purple on there. I'm not going to do that. As much as I am considering it, I don't think I'm gonna do it. So the rest of this should be dry. I'm just gonna dry this bottom part and set it aside. And then we'll add some, I had a hard time. I wanted to find some cute little embellishments for it. But of course I didn't go looking everywhere. I just went to the Dollar Tree and I found these cute little erasers and I thought, well, they might be cute, like hot glued on the corners a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do when we're finished with the ink. Okay, so let's move on. I'm gonna set that aside. And I am going to plug in my glue gun. So that starts my hot glue gun. That can start working. Let's set this aside. And let's bring this up here real quick. Let me find another paper towel. Paper towel. Of course, I have paper towels in the bathroom. I don't think I have any more left. Oh, I do. I try to keep a little bit of stuff up here. I can get to easily. If the transfer ever sticks to itself, guys, just peel it off it gently. I'm just wiping some of the excess off. with a paper towel. All right, let's get our, actually, oh, what color, guys? Should I do this? I guess I'm actually gonna have to do it all in black. I do have a blue, I only have 2 inks right now. I'm waiting on an order with some additional inks, but I only have 2 right now, black and teal. So let me know, do you think I should do it all in black with the composition even in black as well on this? Or should I do teal? Let me know in the comments what you would do. Now, I will also tell you, we could do this project in ink as well, because, I'm sorry, in ink. We are doing it in ink, but you could do it in paste as well, and just chalk paste, because it is, you mainly do ink on projects that you're gonna wanna wash. And obviously, I can't imagine that, I'm just trying to make sure my fingers are clean before I start touching. I can't imagine that you're gonna have to wash this, so you could just ink it and then not worry about it. So we can, oh my gosh, ink it and heat set it, or chalk it and not worry about it. As long as it doesn't have to be washed, you could chalk it. So if we chalked it, we could do it in any color we wanted. If we ink it, we're doing it in black and teal. So, let's see. All right. Let's get started. And it even comes with this little twine. You can always change that out again for some really cute ribbon if you had it. Comes with twine and this little wooden dowel. I'll show you how they come. Actually, I'm giving you a sneak peek on one. This is how they come. So obviously, if you're going to work on them in a project, you would want to take it out ahead of time and make sure you iron it or wet it and then kind of smooth it to get it to lay flat. It will tell you right on it. It comes with instructions. It'll tell you use with an ink mat to protect your surface. I'm not worried about that because I told you guys I keep stuff on mine so it doesn't bleed. And once you need to use parchment paper as a barrier whenever you're doing a heat set, and it says a minimum of 4 minutes per side if you're using an iron. If you're using a heat press, you can do it less time than that. So just letting you know, that's how it'll come, and it does come with instructions as well. So, all right, so I've already prepared mine. I've got it nice and flat. I could take this part off, but I'm not doing anything up here, so I'm not gonna worry about it, okay? So let's see, let's get our, now I'm not gonna fuzz it again because I'm putting it on fabric. So it's already gonna grab nicely and I don't need to fuzz it. And I think on this one, I'm only going to put the composition, since it's a much smaller surface, I'm only gonna put the composition looking print on the top. So I'm just gonna try to line it up. Don't always use the stitching as a guide because it's not always straight. Anybody that's a seamstress, I'm sure, knows that. I'm sure whoever makes them does the best. These do come from my shop. That did not. I'm sure you can find these banners in other places as well, in your favorite craft stores, or maybe you're handy and you can make them yourself. Okay, so I've got my black ink. Now the ink usually comes with a white lid. That's how you can tell, and it does of course say ink on it, but it comes with a white lid so you can tell if you happen to have all your stuff together and you grab the wrong thing, you would know. Unless, I'm not sure if any of them came in purple. We had what we call COVID lids. They had a hard time getting a hold of, as just like everybody, right? Certain things, and some of our paste comes in purple lids, so you always kind of feel like you got a little treasure when you got one that's in purple. All right, so I am going to use one of my mini squeegees again, and make sure, actually, really want to make sure that I have this. I'm not worried about it bleeding through. It may, but I'm not worried about it because I have this paper on my desk. It's not going to ruin it. If I was doing it on a t-shirt, I'd want an ink mat or something in between it, like a piece of cardboard or something, to make sure that it doesn't go through to the other side of the shirt, or the back side of the shirt or sweatshirt. Okay, let's do it. And also with the ink, we suggest you only go one direction. So top to bottom or left to right, not both, because of the potential for bleeding. So just try to make sure you have lots of coverage. I don't know if you can tell, it is much thinner. The black seems to be, at least. I don't know, guys. I'm leaning towards using the teal for the composition. Oh, I hear the school buses. That would be middle school coming back. High school's already gotten back. I don't know about where you are, but our high school starts at 7:15 in the morning. And they're usually home by 2:30, 2:45, I guess, if you're on the bus. That is one reason I'm not sad at all that my son is doing virtual, because he doesn't have to start that early. Oh, I hear a little one calling for me. He didn't go to preschool today because he had a stuffy nose, and we didn't want to send him to be miserable. Pretty sure it's his allergies, but we didn't want him miserable. Okay, so that's done. And also with your ink, you can just reuse it, put it back in your container. Just be careful with the black, it's pretty messy. I usually, when I'm working with ink, I put my apron on just because I don't want to get it on my clothes. I'm sure I could get it out if I tried quickly. Let's see. Go ahead and pull that off. There we go. I can tell it bled a little bit on my A, but I think it's still going to be cute. I think it's going to still be all right, guys. I think it would still be all right. And I do see a couple places where it didn't grab as well. So what I would normally do, I'm going to show you. Not that it has to be fixed, but do you see where there's some places, like the A, it looks like it bled on the inside. And then there's a few like places where it looks like it may not have gotten enough. So I have a handy dandy tool. This is one of our artists from our artist tool set. It's a little tiny squeegee. I don't know if you can see that. And I am going to try to be very careful and just fill in. Now remember, this ink is still wet. It does take it a while longer to dry. Usually we suggest, I mean, you can use a heat tool and help it along, but usually we suggest you let it dry for several hours or even 24 hours before you heat press it, so that your ink is completely dry. And you heat press it just to set it, if you're, so that it doesn't fade. Oh, looks pretty good. Yeah, I hear my little buddy coming in. I think it's still cute, even with some of it. He may come say hi. You just have to try to do. I love this tool. It's just so fine for fixing things, little areas. I hope you're having a good day. whatever you're doing, if you're enjoying the last little bit of summer, or whether your kids have gone to school and you're starting to get back into a routine, or whether you're getting ready for school. I'm gonna try really hard to start getting up earlier again, just so I don't really have to do anything for my son for school, obviously. He's in high school and he's been used to he's pretty good about being an independent learner, so I don't have to do a whole lot. Just check in and ask those questions. So, there we go. And see, even on this canvas, it didn't bleed them. It really didn't bleed. So there you go, that's that. So I'm gonna dry it a little bit, and I'm gonna try to be really careful. I go to put my lid back on that. Hang with me just a minute. I'm gonna get my other ink because I can't resist. So this is our teal, Couture teal, and we'll do the little composition. Just make sure you don't have any on your hands when you're touching your fabric, unless you have a way to, I have done that, and unless you have a way to make it so that it looks like you were supposed to mess it up. You can always be inventive. Cover it with a ribbon, an eraser. I'm not going to embellish this at all, this one. I could, but I'm not. Unless I found some cute little pencils, or if I found some cute little pencils or charms that look like little school stuff, I could hang them from the bottom. That would be so cute. I haven't seen those, but that would be so cute. All right, let me find another squeegee. I'm gonna just, I've told you that before, our squeegees have an angled side and a flat side. You just use whichever side you want, it doesn't matter. Make sure that's down. Not that concerned if it's gonna bleed. Can you see it okay? Something about new school supplies. That was always my favorite. Even when I homeschooled my kids, we went and bought new school supplies just because it's fun. And we'd get them all ready the night before, just like you were getting ready to go to school. Got to get them in that mindset that this is for real. At least the kids get to do that this year. Most of them anyway, I think. All right, guys, almost done with this one. Being a little more heavy-handed with the ink just because I don't want to miss. Obviously, this pattern I'm not going to go back in and try to fill in like with the tool. Just make sure I don't have any lines that are evident. Not much at all. Put that aside. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, well, I guess that's normal. I don't know. Didn't show up as good as I would have liked as far as the composition, like the little breaks in it. But it's still cute. I was hoping it would show up a little bit better. And it's crooked. Okay, can you tell? I can, but that's just the way I work. All right, so there we go. There's two. Can you see that hanging up in your classroom, or wouldn't that be cute? You can do all kinds of things with it. All right, I'm gonna set that aside, let that dry. And this should be ready. And my glue gun looks like it's nice and warm. Need to add a glue stick. All right, so let's pick out a couple of these to put on here until I can find anything else. You know, you could probably even use like the 3D scrapbook stickers. You could use those and just hot glue them just to make sure they didn't come off. Oh, so let me just show you. So this is dry. Everything's dry. So I can touch it now, right? And it won't come off. If a little kid touched it, you'd be all right. Oh, let's see. We definitely need ones that have some purple in it. Ooh, A+, right? A+. So what do you think? Put them on the edges? Put them on the corners? Let's see. How about, oh, that might work. What do we think? Or do we just do them all on the top? Decisions. I don't want to overload it, but I just thought, wouldn't it be cute with some, or do we just put them down here? What do you think, guys? And then if I found a cute ribbon, we could use that, and then you'd have that looking at it too. Wish I had found some even smaller erasers. I was surprised I didn't. Couldn't find them. All right, let's get this glue gun going. Let's see how much I can get out of there. Let's just do it. I'm going to be very generous. And as I've mentioned before, this isn't Gorilla Glue. You can get Gorilla Glue for your glue guns. This is not. But if I find this is not holding well, like even with some of the sea glass on my beach projects, I started with the hot glue, but if a piece fell off, it was too heavy, then I just used my E6000. Could do the same thing with this. If you find, because these are pretty substantial erasers. A little bit. So which one do you like better? Which project did you like better? Oh, I need another stick. The banner or the chalkboard? Great job. It's sunny here today, at least. Got a lot of clouds, big clouds though, the nice white fluffy ones. It's not as humid, even though it's 89 degrees. Don't think we're supposed to have a storm today for the first time in a while. I don't think we had one yesterday either, actually, because I had to go water. I have some that just get really droopy quick, even with the heat and humidity. Did you have a good weekend? I spent till I was up way too late last night, and I even jacked up my new nails somewhat, putting together an IKEA piece. They have 40,000 pieces when it comes to IKEA. I don't know why. I love them. I love their pieces. I don't mind putting things together, but it just took, I was up pretty late. up way later than I should have been. Okay, guys, I think this is done. Got extra erasers. Let's see, I got strings. What do you think? Cute? It needs something, I don't know what, but I think I'm gonna look for some ribbon maybe. I think it's adorable. And like I said, you could even do your school colors. Just don't go with anything too dark. If you go with like a red might show up pretty good. But if you went with like a navy blue, like our cadet blue, or the dark purple, any of those, they might not show up as well on the black, if you're doing the black. But you could have just as easily done Bumblebee, which I did consider. It would be cute, it would show up fine. Orange, lots of greens, any other color, your school colors. So I hope that was a good idea for you. I hope you liked that. I am going to be doing another project tomorrow. I have several ideas for this week, and this is what I'm going to be working with. I have this one for back to school, and I have these, and then I have one big project I might do Wednesday that I'm really excited about, that I'm just going to kind of make it work. But I'm going to use these on several different surfaces, so that's going to be fun. So this is what we have planned for the rest of the week, back to school ideas. I just think these are adorable. There's so many ideas, and if you want more ideas than what I'm giving you today on my lives today and this week for these transfers, they are available on my online shop. If you need more ideas, if you type in VIP, you can get invited to my VIP group, and I'd be happy to share more through their ideas. We have so many. It's just amazing, the talent pool that we have and the ideas that they come up with. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or send me a message. And again, please heart this video if you liked it, and if you wouldn't mind sprinkling it to anyone that you think would enjoy it, I would appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. Bye. See you next time.